Oscar goes to Slumdog Millionaire.
I was mayor of my hometown.
But no problem for Michael Phelps. New world record and gold medal.
To sentence defendant Saddam Hussein al-Majid.
Surface to air missiles arcing upwards into the sky.
4, 3, 2,
increasingly
1.
depends on the success of liberty in other lands.
AAHOA began 20 years ago. The industry, particularly the limited service hotel industry, was really just getting going. There were a number of Asian American owners at that time. I had been exposed to a number of Asian American owners when I became president of Days Inn. Mr. H.P. Rama came to my office one day and he explained to me the difficulties that members of his community were having in terms of some very basic scenarios such as insurance, getting franchises from other companies, getting discriminated against for potential violations of quality. I felt that this was not justifiable. I hadn't seen that in Days Inns, and we sat down and decided that we should form an association. We were financed by Days Inn at that time. Henry Silverman, the chairman, gave us the money to get started. The mission of AAHOA, as written when we started, was that the Asian American Hotel Association would assure that the Asian American hotel owners would take their rightful place in the hotel industry. And I think that mission was very critical to what we did and what we had to accomplish. And there was pretty unanimous agreement. HP and Ravi Patel were the two people who really led the effort of getting into the community and generating membership. We ran our first conference, I believe it was in December of the first year, where we had 150 people. In the beginning, it was very tough to get a lot of members. And there was a lot of skepticism about whether or not this was really going to work. I think the fortitude of the early presidents of AAHOA was spectacular. HP, Ravi, and others stayed with it to the point where they overcame any of the difficulties. I felt the early leadership was so committed to the community that they came from and that they support. And the founding fathers should be absolutely revered and honored for all time. This community has grown dramatically, not only in the limited service business, but has extended its reach to many additional hotels and hotel companies, extended its reach into politics, and doors have opened into suppliers and things of that kind that no one could have imagined in 1989. And I think as the organization has grown, they've learned to delegate more of the nitty-gritty work to the executive director, and I think any of these organizations of size require people like Fred and their leadership. And I think Fred's done a good job of handling the politics and keeping the organization focused. I think the question of AAHOA's role over the next 20 years will be you must protect the real reason for the organization. The question of leadership is always vital. The question of leadership, whether it be young people or old people, is the critical component of the organization. I think it's very important that the generations that are coming up revere and honor the AAHOA tradition. And I think it's very important that the association continues to grow its leadership. The individuals of the Asian American community have reached total equality, total accessibility with anybody else. They are not inhibited in any way whatsoever. And so the only danger is that they don't act responsibly, because when you get to this size, you have to be responsive to your constituency, and you have to be responsive to the country that gave you the opportunity. In a nearly 50-year career in the hotel industry, people have asked me, what's the most important thing that you did? And I felt that AAHOA was and is the legacy contribution that should be remembered as the most important contribution I've made to the industry. To watch it grow and to see what it's become is forever just a joy for me. I think that it could only happen in America. The Asian American, the members of this organization, can rightfully be proud that the history reflects the history of this country, and it's just a beautiful thing.